We haven't lately, but when we used them to help like paint and just clean up our facility and the parks and that kind of stuff.
I see no downfall to using them or anything they've done so far.
So you need to submit what you're gonna be having them do?
I just have to touch base with Brian Tracy. He's already been at the plant, walked through the whole plant, so there's nothing down here they can't do.
Is there a policy, Tammy, within the city so that whenever a department head, do they go through you, notify you on this date, we're having prison labor come out and do this for us, so that there's record of it in City Hall, what's going on also?
The department heads keep track of that themselves. I know generally what they're doing, and I'm assuming Al was in the loop. But right,
Mine was all pre-approved through Al.
yeah,
And
so,
the reformatory.
and I don't have a problem doing that, I just didn't know what you,
Just if you're submitting and writing to the prison, CC City Hall,
Well,
I think,
I think Al probably was the go-to contact. Means he's no longer serving as administrator. It would go to the intern, being Tammy. I just wondered, do all three of you know when one of the other teams are using prison labor?
I can't use them.
I know, but do you make your peers aware that you're using it today, or
No, I've never been.
that might be just a good policy? You guys have email capabilities to one another, or?
We take care of all that.
You haven't had inmates, have you, Dan?
No, I have
Yeah,
not.
so,
So I'm just wondering, moving forward, it
Yeah.
would be a good idea for all departments to know, hey, these 3 days I'm using prison labor.
Well, they got
I,
30, 40 people up there that are in the unit that have their out. The thing about, you gotta understand about these people is, they're on their way out. Some of them, we just had one guy had him for like 2 or 3 days, he's due to get out in 2 weeks, you know. These aren't long-term guys that are gonna be working for any department for any length of, or certain length of time. You know, like, we're coming towards the end of the season here, the mowing's getting, pretty much done. Now, the inmate that I was using is one that Tyler's gonna be utilizing, not this week, but next week. He's gonna start going down there, so, the LCC can utilize him. And you also gotta understand, and I spent 9 years working in that penitentiary. We just went through an ordeal with, some of these guys that got out and were working at the LCC and stuff, and there were some issues with inmates. It's not the same as working with me or you or Joe Public, okay? It's a whole different program, and I went from 6 different inmates I've been through, and right now, I've got 1 of them. And the other one that I was using, he was actually a good guy, but he's getting out, so you figure that ratio.
It's hard to find good help.
Yeah, it's darn hard to find, especially up there. You can walk up there right now and ask them house guys at the gate, you wanna go to work for the city? And for the city with Joe Abbott is who I have, and they're gonna tell you no, because they know what we do. They don't wanna pour concrete, they don't wanna stand out there in the hot sun with the weed gear for 4 or 5 hours. So, it's not the same as working with the general public.
No,
and I
It's a
get,
whole different ballgame.
I get what Rod's saying, if you had 4 people with you and you had 3 and you had 4, it's just nice that everybody knows we've all got prison, like, you know, it doesn't hurt that.
it's just something I
Team.
believe that
I would like
should
to
be
have,
known throughout the organization.
I would like to have 4
Works in
if I
business,
possibly
private
could,
sector.
but I can't.
How it works in my business.
I just can't. That would work too.
I understand that.
He and I
Yeah, but my
found
God,
out
they
that
should work for the police department too. You probably are better
They'll
job.
fail their
So Jim, what's the deal with
criminal history checks.
you not having?
just keeping anybody with a criminal background out of a secured area, and the water plant is a highly secured area through DNR, and I wouldn't even ask the question, because to me, it's pretty much in the best interest of the city and common sense.
That's good forward thinking, Jim.
so Dan, just out of curiosity, how come you haven't had any up to this point in time?
Kinda hit a roadblock with Al several times, I tried.
Today's a new day.
That's about all I can tell you.
Okay.
All right.
Move
Well,
forward.
if you find somebody good, then great, use them.
I'll find them, thank you.
Work proper protocol there.
Yep.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't think so. It's already an established program.
So,
No,
so why did it say possible action?
just in case.
no, and I think it's good that the department heads know that they're doing this as part of that.
9.0 finance. 9.1 discussion and possible action.
You're done with me, I'm leaving. Have a good night.
You two done, check on.
Here, you stay.
Discussion and possible action on resolution to fix a date for a public hearing on proposal to enter into a water revenue loan and distribution agreement and to borrow money thereunder in the principal amount to exceed 1.8 yeah,
I'm thinking
a
either
lot of
1,000.
money.
Make a motion, we set the hearing for November 13th, 2017 at 6 PM, City Hall, Council Chambers. Second.
First by Bill, second by Cody, and it's a roll vote.
Rod,
Yes.
Cody,
Yes.
Betty,
Yes,
Rich,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
John.
Yes.
9.2, discussion and possible action of approving second pay request in the amount of $356,345 to Reckless Excavating Ltd. for the second street lift station project.
So
Phase
moved.
1.
Second.
First by Cody, second by Bill. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Carried. 9.3, discussion and possible action approving change order number 4 in the additional amount of $2,836.08 to Horsefield Construction for the 2017 STP Street project.
Come on up, Scott.
did I miss what that change order was for?
I'll talk about it here. Hello, my name's Scott
Oh.
Putoff. I'm with MMS
I was
Consultants.
like reading through here.
So this change order is for some core out areas. We had some unsuitable subgrade soils. This is actually going back before we even paid the first phase. There was some sections that were soft, so we cored the dirt out, brought some additional rock in to solidify up those before we paved on them. I kind of held off on this because I was concerned that when we got into phase 2, maybe we'd have some additional areas. Turned out we didn't. So now I'm ready to, I guess, bring that forward. So I think Greg was involved in some of those discussions, I believe, at the time. But yeah, there were just wasn't big areas, but and we used bid items for it. But because obviously it is an addition, so we've got a change order for it.
Move to approve.
First by Bill,
Second.
second by Betty.
The last work order, addition to, basically became a wash for the city.
Right.
Not an option this time.
Well, I think this is unforeseen circumstances in this
Yeah,
case.
This is totally unforeseen. Once we removed the PPC and was able to get on top of it, down towards the Tapkins areas where it's at, and that's clear at the bottom of the drainage system. We ran into some problems there when we road tested it, it didn't pass. So we did have to core it out and add some additional rock to get the stability underneath the new pavement that was there. There's no way you could possibly see that.
If you tell me it's not an option,
Well,
to be a good steward of the city's money, I had to ask.
Nope, understood.
Well, it'll be covered, STP will pay their
All right,
percentage.
it's an 80-20 deal still, right? Yeah, that's right.
So while I've got your attention on
Sure.
this project. Delays, unacceptable.
Okay.
I know now that it's gonna be open.
It is open, actually. I
So-
saw it before I came in here. It's all opened up. So.
I think I can get my ears back that were bit and chewed off.
Cross the bridge is open?
Yep,
Yes,
yep. I was drove across.
Give me an
14 minutes.
explanation
I don't.
with structure.
I guess
how
I don't.
that occurred.
I don't have an explanation. I was asking the same question. Greg can but
Cody, the
that
best explanation I can have, which came from Cody Lawler with Forcefield, is that they were more than likely actually, they were behind on another bigger project, which was much more revenue, and they were getting fined more per day than what they were here, so we were left for a short time. We're gonna end up, probably with about, at the end, probably somewhere around 12,000 in punitive damages, I think is.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it depends what, they've got a couple things to finish up out there, so,
Right.
we're, what, 8 or 9 days in
Correct,
so far?
and so we'll get,
$1,000 a day,
we'll get some of that
liquidated
back in
damages.
punitive damages, but, once it's turned over to, the projects is turned over to, the engineer and the contractor, I mean, I'm pretty much out of it, even though I did send some emails and put some pressure on them where I could, but, you know, there's a fine line there, and it says right in the contract, they're obligated to pull out it, you know, so you gotta be real careful and walk the tightrope
Yeah,
there,
so I think
And
that,
the quality, I'll tell you, I just wanna mention one thing real quick, the quality of the work that they have done down there, in my opinion, has been outstanding.
I agree.
I'll take the quality over the quantity any day.
I'll second that.
so
If you haven't drove down South Elm Street in a rainstorm, try it now.
So I just want to add here that so when this job is set up, it's let through the DOT. The DOT in this case established how many working days the project we're going to have. DOT established the amount of liquidated damages because it's a federal aid project, because it was let through the DOT. A lot of we could have had input, certainly. I guess we at the time we didn't see that there was going to be issues that we had here. But I think things like the amount of liquidated damage, I'm not sure we could have had much say on. Like we could have had say on schedule. We could have said we'd like the late start date to be sooner, so that we can ensure that it was going to get done before now. Some of that stuff we could have had more input at the time. You know, I guess at the time we didn't anticipate having the problems that we ended up having, obviously. But
Well, I understand, the more
You also
restrictions,
have to be,
right, yeah.
we were very lucky with Mother Nature. I mean, very lucky. The progress of it actually was going real good up until the second phase after we got the tear out done. So we could have been a lot further behind.
I'm more concerned with the second phase of the project than I am
Right.
first.
Yeah.
The days that area was inaccessible, before adequate work was being done.
Sure.
That's, if I understand correctly, that's not on the city to manage. That's on your firm to manage.
But we hear
Right.
about it.
Right. Well, and we can only say so much. I mean, I don't want to. I mean, I guess I tried to do what I could to get him here. I felt like, and you know, it might not have been good enough for. Maybe not. Might not have been good enough for you all, but I guess I felt like I was sending emails, making phone calls, talking to people, and trying to get explanations, trying to get them to come here. And
Obviously, they are okay with
yeah, I mean,
paying the fine because
they as much as told us that, right?
yeah, the fine on the other side where they weren't done either was obviously steeper. So it could have been like $5,000 a day.
So the ultimate portion here is if we ever hire them again, we put up the fine limits higher.
We can't.
It's within-
They don't have that
set by the
Yeah.
DOT and
Depends on what kind of
Okay.
project. I mean, if the city that's
everything like
Then we
that.
don't hire 'em.
That's not set by us.
So I just don't like the fact
We
I'd rather
didn't
have
hire
it
'em.
7 days late than have
I
them stop the
overbid.
job down there and be
Timelines
another 7 to
don't
20 days tearing it out and
fit the
redoing it.
schedule, and you're gonna suffer, so I don't suffer financially somewhere else. I don't like playing that game. I'm gonna dance, I wanna be leading, I don't want someone else leading.
Well, and the bad part of this is it's closed off the cemetery for almost a month. Closed off anybody getting across that bridge. I mean, for Pumpkin Fest, there was my mother-in-law had to go all the way out 151 and all the way back to go to Wapsie to her class reunion. You've got older people having to do that, and that's not good.
Once again, the devil is in the details. Some other means should have been, could have been in place to prevent full closure.
The nice thing about all this is, with all these STP projects we just done, those are your main arteries coming in, you should be good for a while.
It does look nice.
So it's all happened in the last
walk
10
on it
years,
every
so
day.
that's the
Just
positive about
conveying
access.
the disappointment.
Understood. Yeah, I was disappointed too. I'm in the same boat as you. It's not acceptable, and I guess I don't have anything else to say other than that. I mean, I was disappointed too, and we tried to do what we could do, I felt like.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you, everyone.
Rod's just growling.
I expected there would be some conversation about it. So. Part of the deal.
All those signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Carried. 9.4, discussion and possible action approving third pay request in the amount of $107,391.54 to Horsefield Construction for the 2017 STP street project.
Move to approve.
First by Bill,
Second.
second by Rich.
So you talked about fines being leveraged. How do those financials?
That will be a change order that will come before the council again for those days. So that will be a credit back to the city.
This payment will pay in full, or will there still be?
There'll be an additional, yeah. So this doesn't pay for like the stuff that got done last week
Okay,
and stuff that got done today and stuff like that. So there'll still be some pavement on there and some seeding and shouldering and some of that stuff. But I think this was like 90% of the bid price or something like that.
Maybe 8.3%.
Okay, sorry.
so what we will be, in addition, that we would owe,
Mhm.
will it exceed what the fines will be? Or they'll owe us more than we owe them?
No, we're not in that kind of boat yet, no.
Okay.
I'm trying to find a pay request here. Yeah. So,
There's 19,000 in retainage currently as of this pay request, so you got plenty of room to collect.
yeah, 19 retainers plus, so we're paying, 618 was the value of work so far out of 722. So we've got another 100,000 on top of that too. That, I mean, I don't know that depends how the quantities work out, whether that will be exactly 100,000, but there's that much left in the contract.
Thank you.
All those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Carried. 9.5, discussion and possible action on the payment of bills for the month of October 2017.
Thanks,
Thanks.
guys.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Third.
First by Cody, second by Betty. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Carried. 9.6, discussion and possible action on resolution obligating funds for the urban renewal tax revenue fund for appropriation to the payment of annual appropriation tax increment finance obligation which shall come due in the next succeeding fiscal year for the Anamosa Lodges and Suites LLC.
So moved.
Second.
First by Betty, second by Bill.
How much longer are they on there for? One more?
This says one more year after this, this is the 50%
Okay,
of their eligible increment, and then the last year will be 25%.
okay.
And this is a roll vote.
Cody,
Yes.
Betty,
Yes.
Rich,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Rod.
Yes.
9.7, discussion and possible action on resolution obligating funds for the urban renewal tax revenue fund for appropriation to the payment of annual appropriation tax increment finance obligation which shall come due in the next succeeding fiscal year for Fairway Stores Incorporated.
So moved.
Second.
And this is the first year for them, correct?
First year,
And how far out did we go with this one?
15.
15? Was it an even percent every year? Or
There's, I believe it's 85% of the eligible increment across the board.
Okay.
No scale, just start to end.
That was first by Rod, second by
Yeah.
Bill. And it's a roll vote.
Betty,
Yes.
Rich,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Rod,
Yes.
Cody.
Yes.
10.0 City Administrators Report.
I don't have a lot, I put a lot in the memo, obviously. You guys, did everybody get the email update from Pat Callahan regarding extending the application deadline a week? He's only received 4 so far. 3 inquiries. And then the schedule for the upcoming, after that deadline. So if you have any issues or conflicts, make sure you let Pat know. He's met with everybody, he's got 1 council member left to meet with for, that he'll be doing Wednesday. And you know, the Elm Street project opened today. And I think that's it, there's a couple other issues, but I'll update you next time, or in the weekly memo. Nothing crazy, so.
11.0 Mayor and Council Reports on Boards and Commissions.
Nothing on my part.
Nothing on mine either.
12.0 Public with Business with the Council on items not on the agenda.
Just one thing I'd like to run with you guys. So far, Tammy and I had talked on, applications, and if we can all get together eventually.
That's one of the things I'll be discussing with the council that I'm gonna be updating them on.
Okay. Yeah, cause you haven't said anything to me other than
I
what we
told
had
you,
on
but
email.
you weren't listening, but I'll catch up. Seriously.
Gotcha.
That was nice. Well, that's what I waited for. Good night.
Thanks, Jim.
Bye, Joe.
By 13.0 Adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
First by Bill, second by Rich. All those in favor signify by saying yes.
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 Opposed? Carried.
It's a good meeting.
Bucket.
We got a lot done.